Hi there, this video is going to be a review of military time for nurses. So nurses need to be familiar with military time because hospitals and healthcare agencies use it for doctors' orders, how they're written, so times for medications that they're giving or interventions, and we also document in military time in our medical records. So we need to be familiar in how we convert traditional time into military time correctly. So the traditional 12-hour clock is what we most normally use in day-to-day activities, and that can result in errors from medication administration for various reasons. So traditional 12-hour clock uses the numbers 1 to 12 to represent morning and evening numbers. So every number is used twice, once for the morning, once for the evening. So 7 a.m., 7 p.m. That's how we use the traditional 12-hour clock. And in that case, colons are used to separate the hours from the minutes. Military time, however, uses a 24-hour clock. It is often also referred to as international time, but you will still see the words military time used frequently. And military time, as said, is written as a 24-hour time, so it uses 0 to 24 to represent each hour of the day. The day begins at midnight, and midnight can be represented at either 0000 or 2400. And using this military time minimizes documentation errors, okay, for various reasons, and we use a 4-digit number without a colon. Here is an example of how military time is written. This is available to you under my conversions file in my Success shell. It is also reviewed in your Calculate with Confidence textbook. So rules for converting to military time. So the first thing we want to do is omit the colon and either the AM or the PM, depending on the time, and ensure that we have a 4-digit number written. So there might have to be a 0 at the beginning. So in this case, I'm going to omit this colon and I'm going to omit the AM. So I would have 8:45, but because that's only 3 digits, I would add a 0 in front of that because we always want a 4-digit number for military time. Okay. To convert to PM time, so I'm going to omit the colon, I'm going to omit the PM, and I'm also going to add 12 because 12 o'clock is noon, all right? And if I'm going to evening, I'm going to add 12 to my number. So 8:45 p.m. would be 8 plus 12, which is 20:45. So here's a little bit of practice. Convert to military time. If I have 6:45 a.m., I'm going to get rid of the colon and I'm going to get rid of the a.m. So I have 6:45. That's not 4 digits though. So I need to add that 0 in front of the 6. So that 0 indicates a.m. 06:45. That's how that is written. So here I have a number that's PM. I'm going to eliminate the PM. I'm going to eliminate the colon, and I have 12:45 p.m. So in this case, my number is just 12:45. Okay, so here we go. We have 4 a.m. Again, omit the colon, omit the a.m. 4 o'clock. It's only 3 digits. I have to add a 0 before that 4. And finally, 7:35 p.m. Omit the colon, omit the p.m. So now I'm going to have to add 12 to that 7 because now I'm in p.m. So 12 plus 7 is 19, and I'm going to add those minutes, 35. So 7:35 p.m. is 19:35. Okay, so sometimes you're going to see military time used in your math calculation problems. So you might be asked to document, for example, your infusion completion time in either hours and minutes, or you might be asked to convert the time you calculate into military time. And here's an example of that. If your IV medication was started at 12:30 and will run for 30 minutes, what time will the infusion be completed? Answer in military time. So we know that this was started at 12:30, and we know it's going to take 30 minutes to run. So 12:30 plus a half an hour is going to be 1 p.m., right? But we can't write down 1 p.m. We have to convert that to military time. So 12:30 plus 30 minutes would be 1300. And we don't want to write PM here. No, 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 don't write PM. This is indicating PM. So 1230 plus 30 minutes is 1300 in military time. Okay, couple little practice problems with that. We have an infusion that will run for 60 minutes, and it will run, it was started at 7:30 in the morning. So I want to add 1 hour, 60 minutes to 7:30. So my 1 hour is going to be 08:30. Okay, so here I have an infusion that's going to run for 45 minutes, and it was started at 1:30 in the afternoon. So I'm going to take 1:30 and I'm going to add 45 minutes. So I'm going to go to 2:15. So 1330 plus 45 minutes is going to be 2:15, right? But I got to write that in military time. And in 2:15, that's going to be 14:15 written in military time. Okay, and on my final one, I have an infusion that will run for 1 hour and 15 minutes. It was started at 1300, so I'm going to add an hour to 13. I'm going to get 14, and I'm going to add these 15 minutes, and I'm going to get 14:15. Okay, a little practice here. Your IV is running at 50 milliliters per hour. There's a total of 100 milliliters to be infused. The infusion started at 1845. How long will it take for the infusion to be completed? Answer in hours and minutes. Okay, how long? So I have my infusion time. And my way to figure out infusion time is I want to look at my total milliliters. I have my total milliliters of 100 milliliters. 100 milliliters, and I want to divide that by my hourly rate. And in this case, my hourly rate is 50 mils per hour. Mils per hour. That's messy. I'm going to rewrite that. Sorry about that. 50 milliliters per hour. And the milliliters are going to cancel out. So I know this is going to be an hour. So if I take 100 and divide it by 50, I get 2 hours. Okay, how long will it take the infusion to be completed? It's going to take 2 hours. And now it says answer in hours and minutes. There are no minutes. I'm just going to keep my final answer here as 2 hours. And this particular concept is taught in another video, infusion times. So if you're wanting to review that, find that video. Okay. Right now I'm just calculating military time because this is the same kind of question. It is the same question, but now it's asking how long will it take for the infusion to be completed? Answer in military time. So we figure it out here because it's the same exact question. We figured out it's going to take 2 hours. But now instead of saying answer in hours and minutes, it's asking what time in military time this would be completed. So if it's going to take 2 hours to infuse and the infusion was started at 1845, I'm going to add 2. 1945, 2045. So my infusion will be completed at 2045, and that is my final answer. Okay, if you're having lots of problems, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to help you. I hope you found this video to be helpful. Have a great day. Bye-bye.